Good afternoon, Monarchs. I'm Dr. Barry Gribbins, president of LA Valley College. It's a pleasure to join you today. I have some really important updates for you. Also, we're joined today by Dr. Elliot Coney, the counselor coordinator of the Umoja Black Scholars Program. So I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Coney. First, just a couple of updates. And also at any time, please type in any questions that you might have, either for me about the college in general or Dr. Coney about the Umoja program. And then we'll be able to get your questions towards the end of the campus update. So the first update I have for you is about support available for students for tablets or Surface Goes, emergency grants, and also technology support. The application for the support is now available. Students can access it through the student information system under scholarships and financial aid. The types of support, as I mentioned, there's 3 different areas. From that application, you can ask for the Surface devices. So these are like tablets. We were going to get Chromebooks, but the Chromebook order was delayed until October, which obviously would be way too late for students. So we were able to identify, the district was able to identify the Surface Go devices, which are like a tablet with a keyboard. And we're going to be receiving those, we expect at least at the end of next week. And then we'll get them out to students who applied. Valley College is going to make 1,650 available to students starting next week. So if you do need a device, if you don't have a computer, please submit an application for that. In addition, you should have received, all current students should have received an email letting them know that we have support for technology as well as emergency grants. And there's a link to those 2 types of support through both the email and the text message. The technology support can be anything that students have a need for. We understand that many students don't have access to stable internet connections, or a student might need a webcam or a headset and microphone to be able to participate in classes. So whatever your needs might be, by all means, submit a request through that application process, the separate application process. Similarly, through the same application, students can request emergency grants, whether that's to help with food and housing insecurity or other basic needs. We do want to provide as much support as we possibly can to as many students as possible. All 3 types of support are being funded by the CARES Act, so we're appreciative to have those resources available to help support you. The next update that I have for you relates to the fall semester. The fall semester does begin next week. So if you haven't enrolled in all the classes that you want to take, please do so this week. And the classes, there's a lot of registration activity happening. In fact, we had an increase of 1,000 enrollments just in the past 3 days since Friday. So please go to the SIS system, the student information system, and enroll for any additional classes that you might want to sign up for. Finally, we have new ways for students to get in contact with us. Now students can contact us through Zoom, through a help desk phone number, as well as email system. Go to our homepage if you need to contact us and look for either any of those 3 options. The Zoom, open Zoom session is available all day long, Monday through Friday. So you'll be able to get the exact hours from the homepage. And any way that we can support you, we're going to do our best. Again, just to repeat, the one item at the very top of the campus update for the Surface Go tablet devices. If you need a computer, please submit a request in the next couple of days. We're going to keep the application process open until Monday, and then start making the awards on Monday, August 31st. But it may end up being on a first come, first served basis if we receive a lot of applications. So please don't hesitate if you have a need. Go ahead and get your application in right away. And with that, it's my pleasure to turn it over to Dr. Coney, and he'll be able to provide us with an update on the Umoja program. Dr. Coney.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gribbins. So pleasure, greetings. My name is Dr. Elliot Coney. I am the Umoja counselor and coordinator here at LA Valley College. So I wanted to introduce myself and introduce the Umoja program to each of you. I'm going to show you a very quick presentation with some needed to know information, and we'll take it from there for any questions at the end. Great. So I'm Dr. Elliot Coney. I am a counselor at LA Valley for the last 2.5 years. Prior to this, I was at West LA College, and I've been in the district for 7 years. I have a historically Black college background from Hampton University, where I played football. I did my master's at USC, and I did my doctorate at San Diego State and finished in 2017. As you can see, here are some of my personal interests. And as a counselor, it's very great that we talk about interest and inventory on a regular basis. My actual goal is to run a nonprofit serving inner city youth athletic programs with college readiness. And that is something that I look to get into after my time here at LA Valley College. So what is Umoja? Umoja is a Swahili word that means community and is a critical resource dedicated to enhancing the cultural and educational experience of African-American students and other students from the African diaspora, as well as other students with the ability to benefit from our program. It is very important to notify students that we are a program that is focused on African-American success. However, we serve everyone. In addition to that, we are founded in culturally relevant and culturally sensitive teachings and practices. We engage in various discussions and activities throughout the year that promote life learning. Umoja professors and staffs have a genuine love for their students, and we're guided by 18 practices. Some of the requirements outside of completing a LAVC application, we want to make sure that you also complete an Umoja application that is located at umojacommunity.org for LA Valley College. Complete your LAVC orientation. We want to make sure that you meet with an Umoja counselor a minimum of twice a semester. However, with our village space, students are regularly present, so they meet with me, quite more than that throughout the academic semester. We would like you to maintain a minimum of 6 to 9 units. However, we do prefer to have students full-time at 12 to 15. We submit progress reports twice a semester, which is a requirement of our program, as well as completing 5 peer mentoring sessions per semester. We ask that you attend 50% of our Umoja meetings and complete 15 hours of study jam or tutoring time within the first 5 weeks of the semester, and attend at least 3 Umoja events, which are now on Zoom to be done remotely throughout this academic year. Some of the Umoja practices that we focus on greatly, there are 18, and I will not share all of those with you, but I will share some of my favorites. That is raising the intentional and deliberate, which means that everything that we do a part of Umoja for our students and our program is very intentional, it's very deliberate, it's evidence-based, as well as data-driven. We operate from an ethic of love, and we want to make sure that students know that we genuinely, authentically care about them and know that they matter. In addition to this, we talk about manifesting, making sure that what they learn in Umoja is something that's manifested not just on our campus in our program, but also in the community, in their personal lives with their families. We also have various porch talks, which allow students to fellowship and understand what's happening within the actual society, within the program, and other issues facing other students. We have a lot of great community building, and we have great mentoring, a part of our program with our actual BSU, as well as our actual faculty and staff. Some of the activities from the past year, we've had various campus events such as Woke Wednesdays. We've taken multiple conferences, visited multiple colleges. We've done student leadership training. We've done career panels and career exploration with NBC Universal. And we've had a Black graduation ceremony, as well as other events such as the UCLA STEM Academy. These are some of the pictures from our events over the last year and a half. As you can see, we greatly do miss this, and I hope that everyone is doing well with regard to the quarantine and COVID. We definitely look forward to the spring semester of 2021, if not fall of 2021, to get back to our new normal and be in person for fall 2021. So in addition to that, we have a cohort program which allows students to come in and take classes together. A part of this fall 2020, we have 4 courses that we will be facilitating for our new incoming students for our second annual cohort. Those classes consist of English 101, African American 5, Counseling 20, and Stats 101. So if you're a student that feel that you need these classes, whether you're African American or not, and you'd like to take that with us, and understanding that you'll also be able to learn about the African American culture and be more enriched and submersed in an environment that does center around Black identity, then you're more than welcome to take some of these classes with us. If you see here on the left side of the screen, these have some, definite good websites that you need to be aware of. And you can look at following our process by completing the LAVC application, making sure that your financial aid is complete. And this is the link to the Umoja application as well. And then this is the link to set up a counseling appointment via Cranium Cafe /Elliott Coney. And that concludes the short presentation. Feel free to get in contact with me. My email address is Coney, C-O-N as in Nancy, E-Y-E @lavc.edu. And I will be here to serve you and take you through these steps. We also recommend that students do connect with the Promise program as well as EOP. These are great programs on our campus that will help you to hit the ground running this fall. And feel free to make an appointment with me to know how to do that a little bit better and clearly. And I am Dr. Elliott Coney, and I look forward to supporting you this fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Coney.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. So in response to our anti-racism framework, I'm sorry I forgot this. I wanted to put in this plug. The Associate Student Union, as well as the Equity Department of Black Scholars, has put together a platform for Black voices via Padlet. We will be sending out some communication on doing that, where students get to kind of share their voices about how they're feeling in this day and age with some of the civic unrest and some of the Black Lives Matter protest and movement with regard to our district and society. So if you are interested in that, do feel free to reach out to me. You can also feel free to reach out to Raquel and Dr. Negrete in ASU or Dr. Martin in the Equity Office in the Mosaic Center. And we'll be able to guide you. Thanks to the art department as well, because Fung has been helping us with this project. And we look to make sure that you have a platform to share your voices, to share your thoughts and anything that you're feeling. And it's multimedia, and we will provide you with the instructions on how to submit any of your work or anything that you're feeling to share with us as a campus and as a community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Coney. The Umoja program is an absolutely extraordinary program, incredibly powerful. And just as another plug for the students, it not only helps students make sure that they're successful, but I think it really enriches the overall experience being at Valley College. We're deeply appreciative of having the Umoja program. And of course, Dr. Coney's efforts in particular are extraordinary in making sure that all the students are really cared for. So thank you very much, Dr. Coney, for all of your efforts. And I'm glad that you also brought up our efforts here at Valley College to be an anti-racist college. It absolutely is critical that we share that message and make sure that everyone knows that this is a place where folks are all welcome and that we are an anti-racist college. Thank you, Dr. Coney. With that, let me check for some questions that folks might have. First question is from Dane, related to textbooks. Dane wrote that on the bookstore website, it indicates that the textbook wasn't found. Can that be fixed before Wednesday, the deadline for the free shipping? Yes, Dane will get some folks working on that today. Leanne had two questions related to FAFSA. I applied for FAFSA for the school year and was planning to take winter classes. Do you know if FAFSA will be able to cover that? And will I have to pay another tuition for it? Second part of the question is, when do disbursements take place? We'll find out and post the disbursement date on the student information system. In terms of the first question, let me scroll back up. And will you be able to apply FAFSA, or will you have to pay for enrollment fees in the winter for FAFSA? If you are eligible for financial aid, enrollment fees are waived. So students don't have to pay enrollment fees for any of the terms that they enroll in if they're eligible for financial aid. The next question will any of the student fees be lifted? The best way to have enrollment fees lifted is to apply for financial aid. And there's a couple of different types. If you fill out the federal financial aid form, the FAFSA, you'll be eligible to be awarded for a variety of types of aid. Any award that you receive though, and your enrollment fees will be waived. But outside of the enrollment fee waiver process through FAFSA or college promise fee waiver, the enrollment fees are charged. But that's another good area too to look into is the Valley Promise. For all students enrolled in Valley Promise, they get 2 years of free tuition. There are some requirements, including being enrolled full-time, but for students who are new to Valley College and who enroll in full-time, you do want to look into the Valley Promise and be eligible for all of your enrollment fees being waived. All Valley Promise students will also receive a free Chromebook. There's a question about not being able to enroll, register for classes. Is there some one that can help clear it? The best way to find out more information about that would be to email the college or to go on to that open Zoom session that I mentioned at the beginning. The information is about both of those ways of connecting with staff is available through our homepage, lavc.edu. There's another question about students being allowed to request EWs for their classes. And if students are experiencing any impacts related to COVID-19, my understanding is that EWs will continue to be available, but we'll confirm that and get more information out on our homepage. Afsana wrote a question, sent high school transcript by mail 2 or 3 weeks ago, but still have it on to-do account. What should I do? And indicated that the high school counselors can't send it to. So we'll look into that for you. But the best way, again, would be to contact the Welcome Center through the open Zoom call, and they'll be able to look at your specific account and to help you complete the various steps. Sam posted a question. What is an update on parking permit for upcoming semester? Are we still required to pay for parking? That's an excellent question. For students that had bought a parking permit in the spring, that parking permit is good for the fall semester as well, since the spring was cut short. And we'll post some additional information about parking for the fall semester. But for the students who do have classes on campus for the fall semester, and there's a few disciplines, including nursing, respiratory therapist, CNC manufacturing, and EMT that have on-campus classes, students would purchase parking permits for those. Karen posted a question that she tried applying for emergency grants and it came back with an error message. Karen, check that again on the new link and be sure that you're using the email and the text message that was sent within the last few days. There's 2 application links. One is for the SIS system for the tablets, the Surface Goes. And the second one is a SurveyMonkey link, and it takes you to information that you'll submit for either technology support or emergency grants. We'll also double check to make sure that the account is up and running okay. Going to the next question. from Monica about an incomplete English 101 classes in the spring semester, and planning on retaking it. And Monica, it's always helpful to see a counselor, but otherwise just register for the class. Zandra asked a question about when will Canvas allow us to add classes in order to prepare for the new semester. And Zandra, I'm not sure if I understand, but I think you're asking about classes that you're already enrolled for. And when you're already enrolled for the classes, it should automatically pull up when you go through the SIS system. Now I should also invite Dr. Coney to add to any of my updates too, with additional information that he might have. On any of those, Dr. Coney, do you have any other information, any other advice?
No, so everything that you said is pretty accurate to my understanding with regard to the links for the emergency funding. As far as the questions with the transfer center, as well as with access with regard to classes, I put my Cranium Cafe information into the chat box. So any student that may have questions can feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be able to connect you, or at least do a little bit of brokering relationships between admissions, financial aid, or the transfer center. Ashley Du, as well as Andres Kruzaleghi, are our specialists in the transfer center. And I'll make sure that you get a hold of them or get any questions that you have answered as soon as I possibly can. So feel free, and I will cut and paste this again into the chat. So feel free to use me to connect you to whoever you may need to get in contact with, because it is a little challenging, but do understand that we're all moving at our top capacity. So do exercise some patience, but anything that you need that I can help you with, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'll try to get you your answers as soon as possible.
Thank you, Dr. Coney. And I'm going to ask staff to cut and paste that into, transfer that over to the YouTube chat, so folks have access to it there.
Okay.
The Miguel, there's actually a question on the football season. Was it moved to the spring semester? The current plan is for all sports to happen in the spring semester, though that of course is subject to change depending on the LA County Department of Public Health orders. But we are planning for all fall sports, including football, to happen in the spring semester. In the meantime, we continue with all of our sports, including football, through training classes. Unfortunately, currently it has to be done online or remotely, but I know our coaching staff is working hard to keep folks engaged and trained. Miguel asked a question about Canvas and only seeing 2 courses. Miguel, check back in a day or 2. There may be a little bit of a delay between when you enrolled in the classes and them appearing in your Canvas shell, but check in a couple of days. If you still don't see them, please check in with us through the Welcome Center.
I was also going to add to that too, if it's not a late start class, or if it is a late start class, that course may not show up either. But if you have the email of your instructor, they may wait till about the middle of this week to publish the actual course as well, because they're probably still figuring out the rest of this semester with regard to their syllabus and assignments.
Excellent point. There's a question about student book loans, and we'll see if we can't post some information about student book loans on our website. Melissa asked a question about LAVC petitions. If you haven't received a reply from them yet, where can you go? And again, the best way is the Zoom, though I know that the student services folks are working on catching up with all the email that's been sent in the last few days, and hopefully they'll be able to catch up in the next couple of days. But you can always go to the open Zoom room to find out current information. Oh, there's an excellent question from Patricia on student fees, not the enrollment fees, but other fees like the health service fee. And will those be lifted? The campus is closed, but students are able to receive some health center fees or health center services through telehealth from our health center. So if you go to our college website, you'll be able to link to our health center and access telehealth services. And because the telehealth services are being offered, those are supported by the student fees. So we'll still be charging the student fees to help cover the telehealth services. And hopefully sometime soon we'll be able to have more in-person services. Frank asked, will our syllabus show up in Canvas? Yes, Frank, your faculty members will be posting the syllabus for your course in Canvas, and it'll appear right after, shortly after they post it. There's a question, if the professor hasn't posted the book needed for the class, how would you know? You can always contact the bookstore for latest information on required textbooks. But other than that, just waiting for your instructor to post the required textbook. And you might, if you haven't heard from your instructor yet, also email the instructor to get additional information about what the required textbook is. There's a question about the FAFSA, and it indicated that you weren't approved for FAFSA. And the best thing to do is to contact one of our financial aid folks, and they'll be able to look at your specific account. If there is a citizenship issue, then there are other sources of support, including the College Promise Fee Waiver program. But the financial aid office will help walk you through that and identify what the restriction is on FAFSA that might be causing the problem. And let me see here from Richard. How do we attend our first class? Will each teacher send out an invite? Richard, that's an excellent question. We're actually going to be sending out some guidance to all students in just a few days, a couple of days before the start of the semester, with some instructions on how to access your classes. But you'll be able to access it through the student information system and then clicking on Canvas. There should be a spot to click on Canvas, and then you should be able to access all of your classes from there. All classes offered at Valley College will be offered through Canvas. Of course, the few exceptions of on-ground classes, those include some nursing, respiratory therapist, CNC manufacturing, and EMT classes. Those will be on ground. So students enrolled in those classes will be able to come to campus and check in at the Fulton Circle and proceed to their classes. There's a question from Tona about using financial aid disbursements to purchase books. And Tona, I don't have any specific information on that, but we'll see if we can post something on our website to answer your question. Unless Dr. Coney, you have any specific information related to that.
So I just put the application to the EOP office into the chat. Tanya can share that via YouTube. I think for book support programs like Umoja, there are other special programs in CalWorks, as well as Promise if you're eligible, and Promise that helps with book support. So I think that if I'm not mistaken, EOP's book support is roughly $400 to $450. if you're eligible to be a part of that program, if you satisfy any of their requirements. So I would just take the intentionality and initiative to look at some of these programs and look at the resources that you may need. I think the key point of you being here as a student and getting this information is knowing that you have access to all of these great programs on our campus, even if we are online. So EOP, TRIO, CalWorks, even the Family Resource Center all have some type of book support for their special population program students. So I would definitely look to reach out to them via the lavc.edu website or going into your Cranium Cafe and looking at the student directory for Cranium to reach out to those departments as well, because they're also listed in Cranium.
Thank you, Dr. Coney. Perfect. Excellent additional resources. There's a question about a free computer that this person's applied for a computer but hasn't received one yet. So the current application process I just opened up a couple of days ago will stay open until Monday. It closes on Monday. Then the applications will be reviewed and awards will be made. So nobody through the current process has yet been awarded any of the Surface Go devices, the tablet devices, but those will be awarded next week. Again, it's really important for anyone who might need a computer to apply for them in the next day or two, in case we do receive a lot of requests that it needs to be handled on a first come, first served basis. We have some additional questions. One question from Martine about a transcript evaluation. We do have some transcripts that are still pending, some transcript requests that are still pending. And I know that our student services folks are working as quickly as they can to clear the transcript requests and get them out. But if you have any questions, by all means, you can email the student services folks or check on the status through the Zoom. Megan indicated that if a course is listed on Canvas twice, what should you do? And if it's listed twice, you can just check in with, wait until next week when the class starts. It should clear itself, but if it still persists, then you can ask your instructor, and your instructor can help clear that for you. A question from Sam: will the cafeteria be open for the classes that are on campus? And the answer is no. Currently, we're not allowed to have additional in-person services, and that includes the cafeteria, but also other student services. All services will be available remotely. And of course, for the cafeteria, we're not able to provide the food services at this time. We'll have vending open, of course, but we won't be able to have food services on campus at this time. There's a question: what if an instructor has not been responding to emails for ad codes? Currently, you don't need ad codes. And again, Dr. Coney, it's terrific to have you on the town hall. You can correct me if there is a circumstance where a student might need the ad codes. But students, if the class is open, students will be able to add right now. And if the class is full, students will be on the wait list. So the instructor wouldn't pass out ad codes until typically the first day of class, and then attend the first day of class, and then check with the instructor on ad codes at that time.
That sounds correct. And I believe that the professors for the fall classes don't even get the ad codes until like a day, like 48 hours or so right before the class starts. So if any of those classes have been waitlisted because they are full, then you would need to wait at that time. You can try to email the instructor just to let them know, because we're working remotely. They may be able to at least provide you access to their shell to put you into the class until census, if there's an ability of students not showing up or students decide to drop, if there's more room for you to be added to those courses. But normally the direct contact is the best way. You can reach out to Academic Affairs for an email listing of your instructor's email address, and then email them, and then they should be able to at least have some kind of dialogue on what you may need. Also, keep in mind that if the class is full at LAVC, being that we're now on remote learning and online, you're still able to take any class that you would like to in the entire district. So understand that you do have additional options. If you look and search inside of your portal, you would just need to click off LA Valley College at the top of the search bar when you go into your managed classes, and then that will open up the whole district. So you can take a class at any of the 9 colleges and it'll still count. It won't be a need to enroll at any other schools because we're all one district and one system. So just keep that in mind as well. And if you do need help, I did provide my Cranium Cafe ID. You can reach out to me and I'll connect you to other counselors or other services that you may need as well.
Awesome. And Dr. Coney also posted more details on the different types of awards for the tablet devices, technology awards, and the emergency aid awards. And let's take a couple more questions. Is the campus going to open? We do have a few classes on ground for the fall semester. Most classes will continue remotely. We are finalizing plans for winter and spring. Currently, the LA County Department of Public Health orders don't allow us to increase the on-ground activity, the in-person activity. So we currently are continuing with plans similar to what we're doing in fall. But as the health orders change, then we'll continue to adapt with those changes. There's a question. This student is in high school and recently from India, and a question about how to apply for college. And you can apply for college online, completely online. If you go to our homepage, there'll be a link for the common application that's used statewide. Nearly all California community colleges use that one application. You'll complete the application, and then from there, you'll get an email with instructions on what to do. Email or applying for CSU, UC, and private universities is all a little bit different. And then also, while you're in high school, you're able to take classes concurrently with your high school classes. You can take college classes. The high school can help you with more details on how to be a dual enrolled student or take classes at this high school and college classes at the same time. Or you can go to our website and look under student services and dual enrolled, and there'll be more information about how you can take classes, Valley College classes while you're still in high school. I should also note that for our dual enrolled students, the high school students, dual enrolled in Valley College classes, there are no enrollment fees. Yvonne asked about a class that you're on a waiting list and the teacher hasn't contacted you yet. The instructor likely will contact you the first day of classes about adding the class. It would still be a little bit early right now to add a class that you're on the wait list for. But you might as backup look for other classes that would work with your schedule and that meet your educational needs and enroll in those classes while you're on the waiting list. But the first day of class, you typically will find out about whether or not you get into a class that you're waitlisted for. There's a question from Gerardo on other ways that you can apply for the Surface Go tablet. No, the application is exclusively through the student portal. And if you need some help in accessing the student portal, you might go to the open Zoom session and they can help you with those details. There's a question for Dr. Coney on sending transcripts from Mount San Antonio College to ELAC, and can they be sent to LA Valley College for processing?
Yeah, so I replied in the chat. So to be clear, if you're looking for anything dealing with completion, yeah, you definitely want to have those here. However, if you need a class to get into a class like a prereq clearance, then you can also use an unofficial transcript. So you wouldn't have to necessarily be specifically in today's climate with remote learning. If you have a copy of your unofficial transcript, that will suffice to potentially get you into a prereq class that you may need. So like, for instance, if you need to get into English 103, but you've taken 101 somewhere else, and you have proof of that with an unofficial transcript, then if you set up an appointment using the Cranium Cafe with any counselor, we can take you through the steps and provide you the forms to complete that process and get a petition for that prereq for you. But yes, you can still send those to LA Valley College. You would request that from your actual home campus at Mount SAC, and then they will send it directly to our admissions department. Again, be patient. Currently, admissions is definitely working at max capacity, so they will probably take a little bit longer to process those documents. But if you do need something abrupt for this fall, I would definitely recommend you to set up an appointment with the counselor to go over that information with you. And again, if this is something simply about getting into like a higher prereq class, be it chemistry, mathematics, or something in the English area, a counselor will be able to clear that for you.
Thank you, Dr. Coney. And that is about all the questions that we have time for this week. I want to thank again Dr. Coney for joining me on this week's Town Hall. Your one item for the Umoja program, Ethic of Love, is perfect. I think that the college needs to adopt that college-wide. Again, it was terrific having you on the Town Hall today. Students, know that we're here to support you. Anything that we can do to help your experience be as positive as possible, we'll do everything we can for. And please don't